I told you, man, these cameras, this is just going to be issues.
Let's see. Hold on.
My boy Jack just looked at me and just texted me and said, "What is this?"
Let's see. Hold on.
My boy Jack just looked at me.
Yep, it is fixed. It is fixed. We are live.
I'm being heard.
You are being heard all around the world via the internet.
All around the world.
Your pretty face right in the middle of the screen.
All around the world. Everywhere from New York to slightly west of New York.
Correct. And a little north, a little south, just tri-state area. We'll say that.
I don't know why we're doing this to our listeners. I mean, it's bad enough they have to hear us talk. Now they have to look at us while we do it.
This is true, but I've been told that to come from behind the veil and be more upfront, people would react more. So let's see. Let's see if that
react more. What are they gonna? What's the internet gonna say? We're ugly.
Yes.
You know what's with the, 2 Sinatra pictures behind you. Will get with it. It's not the '60s.
Yes. Oh, those are the comments. Okay, we have Rich Rochester in the house. We got a bunch of people.
Richie Rochester. Love that guy.
So right now we are being broadcast all throughout the internet, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch.
You Twitface, all of it.
Mixer, maybe? I think I threw that in
Mixer, there. Grindr, Tinder.
Yes, both.
Those are. It sounds like New Age reindeer, doesn't it? On Grindr, on Tinder, on Bumble, and Google.
We're very up to date on Grindr, Tinder, all those. Everyone is saying we are coming in loud and clearly on both.
Beautiful.
A few people, Connecticut, Myrtle Beach, Rock City.
So you got all the intel. I'm doing this blind right now. You got all sorts. I feel like you're looking at like one of those mission control NASA type things, and I'm here with a blindfold on. You could be lying to me right now. We could be going live to one person, and you're telling me we're killing it.
Nope. Oh, we got Ohio. I'm not going to sit here and just read people.
I mean, at this point, it's just becoming Carmen Sandiego. This is not. We need to talk football, sports.
Sure.
I was just been arguing with my friends about Astro stuff, but we can't go there because being a football mentality guy, I'm all about them getting beamed. And some of my friends who consider themselves more enlightened are like, what will that solve? And I'm like, dude, don't. So what's up, man? What's on the docket? If I hear Isaiah Simmons' name linked to the Giants one more time, I'm gonna freaking.
I was actually recording a video to put out before, like you was like, oh, I could go tonight. So I was halfway done with actually Jeff Okudah.
Okay.
Mel Kiper put out version 1.357872135 of his
Section B. Yeah.
Right. And
it's a mock draft because everybody just mocks his draft.
Yeah. So this one he has Jeff Okudah linked to the Giants. Corner. Probably number one corner on the board, right?
Oh, definitely, without question. Probably the number one corner to come out in a couple of years, I would say. And the Giants only took 16 corners in last year's draft, so
right.
You could be looking at taking another one in the first round this year.
And the Giants are linked to multiple corners already. Darius Slay, we're supposedly trading for him.
Okay.
Jones from Dallas, we're going to give him $15-16 million.
Yeah, Deion Sanders, I think they're going to bring back.
Yeah, he's going to play wide receiver, though, so it's going to be...
He's going to play wide out. No, I don't know. Look, all the new age analytic guys say corner. It's like quarterback, and then it's cornerback, And so, yeah, I don't get my boy Jack. He goes, "Is that a chat? What does that mean? Are we doing anything that crazy?" Jack, if you're watching, it's a podcast, but you can see our faces. Come on.
Yeah. And there's a chat underneath too.
There's a chat underneath. Yeah, he could be writing. I don't know what he's saying because you have disallowed me from adult privileges of watching the chat.
You are not allowed.
I'm not allowed, so you can't tell me all the cool things they're saying about us. But no, I think, we talked about this, about a shutdown corner, about the value of a shutdown corner. The issue is the Giants just need so much that it's like, what I feel like? It's like the dam that's breaking. and you put your thumb here, and you put your index finger here, and your toe there, and your tongue there, and it's like the water's still coming through.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they have so many holes to fill. But so you were talking to Kuda. What are your feelings there?
I think he should. It's tough. Like you just said. I think if they take him at 4, I'd be iffy. If they were to trade back and take him later, maybe like before 10, I would be okay with that. But I don't think he's going to get past Detroit.
It's interesting though, because last draft I thought I had a real handle on it, and then Jawan Taylor, the number 1 offensive tackle, going to go top 10, this and that. He goes second round. 3 corners are going to go. All the analytics guys, the PFF guys, they're like, who was it last year? It's funny how you forget. Greedy, Baker, and Byron Murphy, I think, were the 3 guys. And it's like, they're all going to go in the top 15, this huge corner revolution. And the first guy off the board was Baker at 30 to the Giants, right? Or 31, whatever it was. So I don't know, man.
I think Greedy went. Wait, Greedy went in later?
I could be wrong, but I remember thinking that he was the first corner off the board, Baker. But either way, it's it still seems to be it's a quarterback defensive line draft in the top 10. I know last year's D line was the best defensive line draft maybe ever. This year is the year of the wide receiver, but we'll see. I mean, it's very interesting now because we're talking about where's Brady going to go? Breeze, Rivers, all these names. People don't Stafford. Who's looking to move on? It's kind of wild. But like we were talking about, man, like you were hoping 3 QBs could go in the first 3 picks, and the Giants could land Chase Young. I don't know about that.
Why do you got to shoot my dreams down?
Again, I'm not shooting your dreams. I'm just preparing you for life. It's not a fairy tale. Get people like Dave Gettleman do exist. Okay, we have to come to terms with that. All right. So that's what I told you. Even if Chase Young somehow drops to 4, it's only a 70% chance that Gettleman takes him. I'm telling you. Got my ventriloquist act. I'm going to start doing in a second. I'm going to put my hand up John Mara's ass.
So like you were saying before, Gettleman, you told me to do my studying from last time. You told me that you want me to remember that Gettleman.
Give me my line. Give me my line about Gettleman.
Gettleman picks good players, just not the right players.
Thank you.
Did I nail it?
So simple. You nailed it. You nailed it. And, I think Tua is a wild card, and that could affect the Giants in a lot of ways. And we'll see what happens.
I thought you were trying to really mix it up. No, I don't. Yeah, he is.
Tua for the Giants?
I was like, whoa.
No, but I just think, like I said, Gettleman is linked. He's linked to Jones, and so that's why some people have him picking a receiver, man, because you're going to want to, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, what has he taken since he's been with the Giants in the first round, right? Star quarterback as far as he's concerned, star running back. I haven't seen much trenches stuff, especially not offensive line. Has he taken an offensive lineman in the first 3 rounds, 4 rounds?
Second, he took Will Hernandez. Second.
He took Will Hernandez. That's true. That is correct. He took Will Hernandez, and I love that pick the first year, and then all of a sudden he didn't have such a good year.
We never have a 3rd round pick, nor will we ever have a 3rd round pick. So
no, he just throws them like it's like nickels into a well or something. Yeah. I don't know what he hopes to get out of them. So where are you at, man? Where are you at in this process right now? Combine, you getting ready? What's going on?
Yeah, I am. I'm YouTubing up players and seeing what they look like, and going from there.
Yo, I'm in love, by the way.
You are.
My boy Jack talked about a player because I do all my research.
Through Jack?
No, DNs are my thing. Pass rushers are my thing. I got all sorts of formulas, and just to see the guys the Giants are not going to take.
Yeah.
So just to punish myself and get excited and then have it not come true, So Chase Young and Yetur Gross-Matos and Epinesa. These are the guys that, that most people are excited about. And I found out about a guy that somehow slipped through the cracks. I just didn't see him on certain lists because he's a linebacker. And I might even forget his first name because he's so new to me, and it's kind of embarrassing that he is. But his last name is Baun. Is it Ryan? No, it's got a cool first name. I got to find it. Zach Baun, I think his name is.
Oh, from
Wisconsin?
Wisconsin, yeah.
Dude, this guy suddenly, I really want this guy.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather have him than Simmons. I'm not a Simmons guy. Like, he looks, I've only seen highlight tapes, but I have looked at his numbers. He looks like Chase Young out there. But even, like, dare I say, more mobile, like laterally. Like, because he's an outside backer. He plays a 3-4, the outside. But his numbers, tackles for a loss plus sacks per game, like this year, were, I think, only second to Chase Young's. I mean, the guy was just like a demolition, like a wrecking ball out there. And I would love it if somehow he could slip to the Giants in like the second round, or if they were to trade back and take an offensive lineman with the 1 and grab that guy with the 2. I mean, suddenly, just recently, I've kind of pushed him all the way up to like maybe my number 2 edge defender that I would want. I don't know how much you know about him or not. I
only briefly know because my father-in-law is a mad Giants fan too, and he was like, "We got to look at this guy," but I didn't get that far into him.
He's legit.
Yeah.
He's got good size, good speed. He's got like a nose for the football. He tackles. He puts guys into the ground. Like, I'm always getting my balls broken because I'm so much into like old school football. People like, that's not the way the game's played now. It's a track meet. You just got to be able to run around. And I'm like, there's still value in being able to, physically impose your will on other people. I think it's underrated. This guy, he checks all the boxes from what I could see. And he came on strong in this year. I don't know if it's senior year or his junior year, but he had a really, really great year. And I don't know, are you seeing mocks with him? I think he's kind of being mocked to maybe like the late first round, which doesn't do the Giants any good unless they trade back.
Right. Players slip though a little bit. Maybe he only has to go like 4 picks into the second round.
Yeah. If he's there, I would feel confident. Well, I can't ever feel confident with what Gettleman's going to do. But when's the combine? What do we got? Like a month ago?
Yeah.
Was it March?
I wish you could see the chat. How do I send this to you?
Yeah, me too. Let's not waste time on it. Just dictate to me and put emotion into each one so I can get the feeling like I'm actually looking at it.
I would love to say I like the live stream theme, the new live stream theme with the faces and the cams. Everything looks good. That's from J Ramos 823.
They would love to say it, or they're saying it.
They love it.
They love it.
They love it.
All right, that's cool.
Baker was the first corner off the board. Greedy was the early second.
Now, what's that? A chat?
This is all chats.
Now, who said that?
That is J Ramos 823 also, giving him the shout out.
Yo, Jay, thanks for sticking up for me when this guy tries to tear me down in front of a worldwide audience.
Are we allowed to call in? I think if I was to do that, this would explode.
We'll get there eventually, maybe.
Did you not see the opening? Did they not see the opening?
Did they not see the opening?
Speaking
of not seeing the opening, is Saquon going to get back to form this year, or is he going to?
Yeah,
it's the weirdest thing in the world last year. I've never seen a guy. It was like his eyes just didn't work, man. I know he had the injury, but like straight up, there'd be a huge hole over here, and he would look at it and just head this way. It's like I still think Shermer screwed him up by telling him to get those tough yards inside. Let him do what he wants to do. He's not Reggie Bush. He's not going to get hurt. He's big. He's not fragile. Just let him do. I guess he did get hurt around the outside, but you know what I'm saying.
I think he saw the hole over there and tried to go to it, and his ankle was still, three steps behind him.
Potentially.
But like I told you last time, his whole first class that your boy Dave Gettleman drafted, all sophomore slumped.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
I'm kind of interested to see what this coach is going to do, the offensive line coach from Dallas. It's going to be interesting because I think every Giants fan feels like over the past decade, the offensive line. Obviously, it's been a problem personnel-wise, but maybe some of it's coaching too. And a lot of rookies and a lot of linemen haven't really panned out. Now, the wild card with this Dallas guy is there's so much damn talent on the Dallas offensive line. It's like, how much is he doing? You know, my favorite analogy, is it like calling Secretariat's jockey fast, right? Is the coach any good, or is it just that they're drafting a lineman in the first round every year? But, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing what he does with the offensive line. I don't know, man. It's tough. Like, it's tough to see what they're going to do this year. They're far away. Like, I think they're 2 years away from even being on the fringe of the playoffs. You know, the defense is so porous, and
6 wins gets you in the playoffs in the NFC East.
Well, you know, so you got Burrow going number 1.
Yeah.
And anything to this rumor about the Redskins trading back number 2?
Not this week. Last week, yes.
I mean, look, Miami's not going to offer 3 first-round picks to move up 3 spots.
Mm-hmm. They might offer 2 to move up 1 or
to
2
the Giants,
to Detroit.
Oh,
but Chase Young's already gone at 2, so
there's no point in trading with the Giants because the Giants aren't taking a quarterback, so they would just be wasting that if they want a quarterback. That is,
unless the Giants convince them that like Daniel Jones isn't the
that's not gonna happen. Are you kidding me? You know, I'm not gonna say what Gettleman's doing right now, thinking about Daniel Jones, because we might have some kids watching. It's not 10 o'clock yet, but
right,
he loves him.
Yeah, loves.
So hit me with the topic, bro. We kind of just like flew on the air.
Hey, that's
to see if we could do this. It's like Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park. We were so preoccupied with whether or not we could, we didn't stop to think if we should. Right? You always have games for me. You always have things for me to do. What do you got for me?
I have nothing. I have me, you, and the people's comments.
Okay.
And they seem to be bickering with each other.
They're bickering with each other? That's what's happened? A fight's broken out?
Yeah. Thomas Ryan on Facebook. I'm excited. It's coaching Dallas had great O-line. All right. So I think he's referring to Mark Colombo, the new Giants offensive line coach, formerly of Dallas, both player and coach.
Yes. Franco Colombo.
Yes, Franco Colombo, correct.
May he rest in peace.
The draft and free agency.
Let's get some questions.
Yeah, throw the questions out this way.
Tell me who you would draft at 4. And if you say Isaiah Simmons,
a bunch of
a long night.
A bunch of Yannick Ngakoue comments coming in.
Yeah, what's the deal with him though?
He's getting tagged.
Yeah.
At least that's what they're saying they're gonna do. Here we go. How much would you give Yannick?
It's not happening, so.
Yeah.
You're in the shot.
Yeah, I do. I'm your second assistant.
I would. He's gonna get 15. What's a tag? The tag is close to that anyway.
But what do we have? Right.
We have tons. We're not.
But what is tons? 60.
I think we're at 60, 70 if they make some moves like cutting cutting. You know, Rhett Ellison.
Right, Eli money.
Eli's money's gone. Christian Arroyo wants you to describe what do you think is wrong with Simmons. There's your question.
Christian. I think Simmons is a tremendous athlete, and he's going to blow people away at the Combine. He's going to be the talk of the Combine. He will be the DK Metcalf, Saquon Barkley of this year's Combine. My issue is I think when you actually watch him play, he's a great athlete. I don't know that he's a great football player. He had a very good national championship game, but I'm not sure that his game translates into the pros, right? He runs around, he's high, he's up and down, he's 6'4", he looks like a jacked wide receiver, and he kind of just sprints all over the field. Offensive linemen get in on him. I don't think he's a great run blocker. He's very good at defending against the pass. I've talked about this. He can guard tight ends, and that's a huge problem the Giants have had. So it would be great to have a guy like Isaiah Simmons on the team. He would definitely help out.
Mhm.
But I think he's sort of just an athlete who runs around kind of making ankle tackles in college, and I'm just not sure in the pros. Like a lot of his productivity in college was schematic. It was okay. They're lining him up here. Then he's going to be a pass rusher. Then they're going to drop him back. Then he's going to get an interception, right? And people are like, oh, he plays all these positions. But I just don't know if that's going to really work in the pros. If you're not going to stop the run, blitzing, I think a lot of that stuff was I don't know, he just kind of out-athleted people. I don't know if he'd be able to do that to NFL offensive linemen. And so when I see him, people think he's like a Troy Polamalu upgrade type of a guy. I think the issue people are having is this, that I'm having with what people think is this. The Giants need a safety, they need a corner, they need a linebacker, they need an edge rusher. People look and saying, well, Isaiah Simmons does all four of those things. That's your pick. Giants defense solved, Super Bowl. And I'm just like, you can't be a little bit, good here, good there. Just give me someone who's great at one thing. And the thing he's very good at, I think, is guarding, tight ends in the pass game and running backs out of the backfield. And that's very, very valuable. But I just see him as like, if you got Isaiah Simmons between like 15 and 20, that makes sense to me. I just don't know that and I could be completely wrong. I just don't know for this team, when you need a left tackle so bad, when you need a pure pass rusher so bad, when you need a shutdown corner so bad, that you take a guy who's kind of a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I just don't know if he's going to be a game wrecker or if he's just going to kind of be there grabbing some ankles a couple times a game. What do you think?
Do you think he is a jack of all trades, master of none sort of player?
I think he's a jack of all trades. I think he's a master of coverage, which is important.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't know. I just don't know if that's going to fly. I'm not a fan of the new age linebacker. Like I said, I look at guys like Devin White and Devin Bush from last year. They have a nose for the football. They fly around. They put their helmet in people's chests and drive them into the ground. I don't know. I'm just not sure about Simmons. Again, I think he's a first rounder, and I think the Giants would be improved if he was there, but I don't know it's the smartest pick for them to take a linebacker at number 4.
I was thinking to myself when I was trying to convince myself that we were going to get Chase Young, that all these huge premier defensive guys, are they really worth it? Do they really change the ends of wins and losses?
Right. You're going to say J.J. Watt's never won anything.
J.J.
Right.
Watt, Clowney. Everyone loved Sue. He was going to destroy everyone. Are they really? Do they really? They change defenses. Do they themselves change the game, wins and losses? I don't know.
I think though, okay, I've never seen a clearer case of a team being changed. I mean, I was going to say Khalil Mack joining the Bears.
Right.
It gives you, and it took them right away from being pretty awful for a pretty long time and irrelevant, let's just say, to being Super Bowl contenders. And I'm not saying it was all him, but once one guy does what he does, then the other guys have to focus on him. It allows other people to do what they do, and then it gives your whole defense more confidence and all this stuff. So, yeah, I mean, I think, does it lead to a Super Bowl? No. But where would the Bears be without Khalil Mack? Where would the Titans, the Texans be without J.J. Watt? So I think, Lawrence Taylor did almost single-handedly change the Giants franchise around. I'm not saying that there's another LT out there. I'm not saying Chase Young is LT. But, I mean, but what position? Other than quarterback, what position can you say, if you got a great one, you're going to be great? Right? I mean, there's plenty of amazing players, even quarterback. I mean, Dan Marino never won a Super Bowl, obviously. John Elway never would have won one if he hadn't kind of lucked into that running game, they had in the late 90s. So, I just think, my feeling on drafting for need versus drafting for, best player available. I think it's got to be a combination. I hate when people say just take best player. I dislike that theory.
We have Von Duran Osmond says Von Miller
as what? because I was thinking Von Miller, how he changed. I mean, we're talking Denver. I mean, yeah. I mean that was a, you know, that there are like
I could attribute
Aaron Donald. I mean, you know, he took a pretty, you know, he was the one of the main reasons that the they'll put it this way. Usually, your great teams do have a force of nature on the defensive side of the ball. Right? I'm even thinking about going back to the '90s. Bruce Smith. I'm thinking about, you know, Junior. You know, even
Reggie
teams
White.
that just reached
Right.
the Super Bowl, and you know, Junior Seau or you know, I guess the Cowboys, Niners are more offensive minded, but like you said, Reggie White, you know, Warren Sapp and those guys, Ray Lewis. I mean, that's the kind of guy who, you know, he's another example. You know, the Ravens aren't what they were and aren't what they are now, probably without Ray Lewis. He changed the psychology of that city. You know,
who would you rather have, one like A+ guy in a few C's, or would you rather have like two B+s? You know, as players rating.
you talking about first round, like if we like a trade back type thing?
As like a team, would you rather have like one dominant A stud?
What position?
Defense. We'll go defense.
Defense. So,
Or would you rather have like two like solid B+ on your defensive squad?
it's a tough question.
That's why I'm here.
My initial reaction is to say, give me the A+, because I think it's a domino effect and it helps the other guys. If you can just double somebody, you know,
C's into B's. Yeah, maybe I could see that too.
You know, but who are trade back possibilities, man? We talk about this. Who's it going to be? I don't think it's going to be anybody, because I don't think Gettleman's going to trade back.
Yep, never done it before. Why would he do it now? I think he zones in on a guy, and if he's there, he takes him.
I'm telling you, watch out for Jerry Jeudy, man. I'm telling you, Gettleman is going to be like, let's get him. Let's get my boy a receiver. I don't care about anything else. If Daniel Jones makes a Pro Bowl, I can't be fired.
At some point, they're going to have to draft defense. They're going to have to put money into defensive capital. They're going to have to draft defense. They were hard. Scoring points wasn't the problem. Stopping them from scoring points was the problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean.
And Jeudy looks like a hell of a player. I'm not going to say like, but at 4, we're going to have the whole Saquon thing all over again. Like, how do you take a running back at 2? How do you take a wide receiver at 4?
So we both kind of said we'd go. Well, you said Isaiah Simmons probably, if not Andrew Thomas. I said Andrew Thomas, right?
Yeah.
Man, I hope that guy Baun falls the second round. That'd be sweet. Honest to God. I'm telling you, man, you got to see this guy's tape. He's legit.
How would you guys feel about signing Mekhi Becton? That's Big Blue for life.
Signing? Yeah, drafting.
He said signing in there.
Yeah, well, I guess you would sign him ultimately because, he's a guy that came out of nowhere. You get all these weird things, man. Because look, let's call it what it is, right? We're fans. We watch some tape. But we're not there. I mean, there might be a couple guys that I kind of stalked this year that I actually know the ins and the outs, what I'm talking about, maybe a handful of guys. But, you know, Mekhi Becton, oh, yeah. You know, my buddy's like, hey, guess who Daniel Jeremiah has the Giants taking in the first round? You'll never guess. I was like, Becton? He's like, how'd you know? I said, why? Because I saw a couple lists. Like, I don't actually know what this guy's deal is.
Right.
Whatever left tackle the Giants have graded out, you know. I think, is Becton the guy that's like 6'8"? Is that guy? You want to do some research? Is unprofessional me?
No, I'm a stat boy today.
Is he the Giant? Let's see. I think he's that huge guy. The same. That's what Gettleman's about. Whoever they have ranked as the highest left tackle, take him. I don't like the idea of taking a right tackle and switching him over. It's usually okay, but
he's huge. Yes.
What is it? 6'8", 330 or something?
6'7", 360.
6'7", 360. So that's his knees are gonna hold up.
368.
Him and Dexter Lawrence are gonna be sitting there wrapped up like mummies by the time they're in their third year.
He's that's a huge human.
You know, there's a wild card, Walker Little. You know about him?
Nope. Walker Little.
He's a Stanford guy. 2 years ago, he was supposed to be the top lineman in the draft, and then he gets hurt. He busted himself up pretty bad. I think a knee, missed the whole year. Now I've seen him go as high as first round, as low as like fourth round. Like you don't know what you're going to get with him. And there's another guy like that.
Left tackle?
I think so. And there's another guy like that. Trey Thomas, Trey Johnson, something where the guy was supposed to be great, and then he had back surgery, and he's huge and he's awesome. And I'm like, I'm not touching a guy who's 20 years old that has had back surgery. There's just no way.
Yeah, I think the Giants should stay away from all those injury type players. We just have horrible luck when it comes to that, and just avoid it. If they have some history on that, I would avoid it.
Speaking of, though, I mean, would you go fishing for a tight end at some point, kind of early on, second round, third? You know, they don't have a third rounder, but I mean, what are you really feeling right now? You got to have no confidence. I would trade.
I wouldn't.
Oh man, he's never playing. He's just not. This is not going to happen, man.
Yeah,
he's never going to be healthy.
I'm more worried about Sterling Shepard than Evan Ingram health wise.
Yeah, I love the way he plays, man. I love it, and I didn't realize he's so young, man. He's only like what? I don't want to say man so much. Like a smoking pot or something. Let me smell it from the window. Shepard's only like, I feel like he was approaching 30. Isn't he only like 27 years old or something like that?
Yeah, he didn't even hit his second contract, I don't think.
Yeah.
Did he?
What else we got?
No, he
anything good?
No, nothing else.
Nothing else.
Nothing else. All done.
Come on, fans.
All right, here we go. Matthew Marr.
Matthew Marr, Luke, and John.
Marty Marr wants to know if we should sign Barrett and JPP. Good luck with that one.
Barrett, maybe. Yeah, I mean, God, does Tampa Bay just have just jacked up on D, man? It's amazing they can't win.
Are you guys going to do this weekly? Yes. We're just working out the kinks.
Yeah. That's what we're doing. Plus, I think, honestly, we talked about a lot of draft stuff lately. I can only go on so many rants about Simmons and give you my differences about why I like Andrew Thomas over Tristan Wirfs and talk about where I think Tua is going to go. And at some point, we have to – I mean, we won't really have much news to talk about till the Combine, but that's why I want to field some questions from people.
From L.I. Yankee King.
Oh, I like it already.
From multiple social outlets, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. I want the Giants to do these two trades. Giants acquire 6th, 37th pick in 2021. Second, Chargers acquire 4th pick, and this trade, Giants acquire 13th, 34, 44. So we're giving we're getting the 6th and 37th in 2021, and Chargers are getting 13th.
What do you mean 13th?
Yeah, where's he getting 13 from?
Does he mean? Oh no, stupid.
I think he's. But it's a family show. I won't see what he's doing.
If they trade back to the Chargers to get the 6, and then I think I would love the Giants to do whatever they have to do to get 3 picks in the first 3 rounds instead of 2 picks in the first 3 rounds. You can do some damage in the second and third round, but of course they don't have a third rounder because they want to see what Leonard Williams looks like from up close.
Oh, he broke it up three times. I don't know. Giants acquire 6th, 37th in 2021. Then Giants acquire 13th, 34, and 44th pick. What year?
But how do we know it's the 13th pick? We don't know where they're going to finish San Diego next year.
Explain yourself in your jumbled comment. Would you trade with Oakland to get their 2 picks?
Told you that already. Just the 2, I don't know. If it was the 2, because they have the 12 and the 19.
Yeah.
Trading the 4 for the 12 and the 19.
Is that too far down?
I'm not sure. If they threw the 3rd rounder in, then I would do it.
I don't know. You're talking about the fourth pick. People who want quarterbacks to give up a lot. 3 number ones, 2 number ones, and 2.
Well, we'd be getting 2 number ones and a third. The 12 and the 19, you get yourself one of the top 2 offensive linemen. You get my boy.
Are you calling
Baun.
me? Are you calling me greedy? I want 2s. I want 1s. I want.
I'm not calling you greedy. If it looks too good to be true, yeah, sure. Let's trade. I'd love it if we could trade back 1 spot and get 3 first-round picks from Miami. I mean,
Come on, Miami.
So, I don't think there's going to be all this trading, man. Teams just don't do it that much, I feel like. They do it in the later rounds.
Yeah.
They do it in the later rounds all the time.
But no one's paying attention.
People want a guy. We want Joe Burrow. We want Chase Young. We love Okuda. We love, this defensive line when, Derek Brown or the Giants are going to say, we love this guy. We love this receiver. It's just everybody wants trades. The fans all talk about trades because the fans all want certain guys and this and that. But at the end of the day, coaches don't like to trade back. It's a tough thing to be like, you pick before me. It just goes like, these guys are very competitive, and I think they have trouble being mature and realizing that sometimes the better thing to do is to give ground in order to gain ground. You know what I mean? He
just stole what I was going to tell you. I was going to bring up Joe Burrow. I'll give him credit. Duran Osmond. You think Burrow is going to try to hold out and posture out of?
That's from Duran Osmond.
Yeah.
Is that like a cover band?
Yes.
From the 80s? It's a mix between Donny Osmond and Duran Duran. To get out of Cincinnati, I mean,
he's from Cincy. He's already talking about he wants to go to a winning team. Last I checked.
Make it a winning team.
I don't know.
Do I think he's going to? It doesn't really happen.
It's rare.
But he has more clout than most players coming out. Although, it's amazing, that list of quarterbacks who won the Heisman and like an undefeated national championship in their senior year. And their careers, really, most of them didn't turn into anything.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't think he
does. Hop out for 1 split second. Okay.
I don't think he does.
No.
You're talking about
who's done that really? Eli.
Yeah. And Eli's already was established with his father not wanting to get killed, and it was more of his father than him.
His dad not wanting to get killed?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
His father didn't want Eli's dad didn't want to get killed with a horrible offensive line like he did when he was a player.
Yeah, but where were the Giants really? Offensive line wise, were they really a juggernaut back in 2004?
But he felt he had more of a trust factor with them rather than the Chargers, which turned out to be true. And Eli still got killed, so I don't know. Yeah.
This is a real interesting point for the Giants because right now it still goes down as a blip, right? It's like a 3-year lull, and that's kind of recoverable. That's not a complete buster of like what a franchise means. Like you've seen periods of time, like it takes a certain amount of time, right? When I was growing up, the worst teams in football, I remember the worst teams in football were the Colts, the Patriots, and the Saints. And it takes a few years of winning before you really shake that, right? And it kind of goes the other way too. For teams to be really good or respectable and all of a sudden go real bad. It's interesting with the Giants. If they were to turn it around now and Jones comes through and Saquon does some great things and they have a good draft and, they win 7 games next year, and then maybe they can, win 9 or 10 the next year, and then they're kind of back to, relevance and respectability and things are kind of being run properly. Then it's like, remember that bad little, that bad transition. It'll kind of be called like a bad transition between Eli leaving and the new quarterback, right? Coming in. But if you get, if Jones doesn't do it and Saquon doesn't become anything and there's more injuries and they draft the wrong guys and this is 2 years from now and it's like 5 bad years, then all of a sudden you're looking at like a completely different franchise. You know what I mean? That's not a blip anymore. I mean, that becomes a trend. So that's scary. We got to see, we got to make sure that doesn't happen.
Oh, John Elway is another one. I see that one.
What about it?
who held out or tried to posture his way out of a team.
But what didn't have to do with the Yankees or no?
I think that was part of it. He threatened that he would just go play baseball or something along that line.
Why? Who wanted him, and who did he end up going to?
He went to Denver, but I forget.
Well, obviously that.
I forget who the original suitor was. I think it was. I can't remember off the top of my head.
It wasn't Pittsburgh. Cleveland?
What do you guys think of the whole Jones, Garrett, Judge combination?
Why don't you start off with that one?
So, was Jason Garrett the guy I wanted? No. Am I okay with him as an offensive coordinator? To be determined. It's been a while since he's, called plays, but I think, that's something that you don't forget. You might just have to, get accustomed to doing it again or figuring out a new offense with, the current pieces that you have.
Right.
If I was Joe Judge, would I want a, super tenured coach looking over my shoulder at all times? No. But supposedly, maybe he could lean on him a little. Knows the NFC East. Might work out. It's risky. I think it's risky.
He doesn't jump out to me. I mean, first of all, okay, like you said, it's very strange to have a celebrity coach be an offensive coordinator for a brand new coach.
Right.
You would easily normally see the power structure being that offensive coordinator walks around doing his thing and that the head coach is tiptoeing around him, right? Mm-hmm. You can pretend that's not the case, but deep down inside, every kind of person in a work environment or in a social environment, kind of who has one up over who, right? But I do think if it would work for someone, it seems like Judge is a command the room kind of guy. It does seem like he is a take control, self-assured kind of guy, and Garrett isn't exactly the most domineering personality. So I think if it was going to work, I think this is the way it could work. Would be, I think these guys, it could potentially work with them if the formula could work at all. I'm just not sure that I'm thrilled that, I don't know, Jason Garrett is a play caller. I don't know that I've never really noticed his play calling before. Has Dallas really ever done anything where you're like, wow, I've never really heard anybody talk about him as being innovative or being in tune with the game or pushing the envelope or whatever. I think he's just.
He's all right.
He's just an offensive coordinator. Yeah. So I don't know. I know he's a smart guy and he played quarterback in college, and Daniel Jones is a smart guy, and they might have some kind of a little, they might relate to each other and it might be a good relationship there. But I don't know. I'm kind of neutral on the whole thing. It is going to be weird as hell seeing Jason Garrett in a Giants uniform. What is that? Someone just told you to clap for them?
No, the clap. Him clapping on the side.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's strange. But I guess, like I said, I think like everything else, you just get used to it after a while, right? 2 games into Daniel Jones, it was like, I forgot what Eli even looked like back there. So, we'll see.
Here we go. People are on the stats. The Colts wanted to get John Elway.
The Colts.
There we go. Everyone gets a nice a clap in the chat. Oh, I didn't even play any sound effects that I worked so hard hooking up.
Drop the ball.
Is there anything? Is there anything that you would like to plug? Is there anything you like to talk about? Is there anything?
Nah, man. I always plug cxstuff.com. Yeah, I saw you ask me to plug it.
No, go ahead.
It sounds to me, I don't know if it sounds to everyone like that. It just sounds like a bunch of water.
Water?
Yeah, it sounds like someone clapping while being sprayed with water. No, I'm at CX. I'm at Collectible Exchange is where I'm working now. And we got doing video for them and communications and some cool stuff. It's an online marketplace for collectibles. And so it's all, I've been I interviewed Mark Messier recently, Willie Randolph, WWE's Scott Stanford, and some other people. Mm-hmm. And you can buy, we got all Garrett Cole stuff. We got Saquon. It's just like sports and movie memorabilia. You can go on cxstuff.com. You can buy all that stuff. We got a lot of cool upcoming signings and players and stuff like that. So it's my only plug, man. How about you?
No, just you can find me here.
In the basement.
In the basement
with the headset on, just always. It's like the game of Clue. It was Marco in the basement with the headset.
With the headset and the mic.
What's coming up? What's the next thing going on, Giants wise? Is it just? I mean, when does free agency really start to kick off, man? Like, are we going to see the draft? Are we going to see, the combine first? I mean, I don't even see. This is stuff you know more than I do, right?
Let's pull up the schedule. Hold on.
I know personnel. I know the game of football. I have experience there, but I feel like when it comes to the news and the timelines and the cycles of things, you're more the guy there. You got to keep me on track with that.
All right, we're past that. Important dates. Here we go.
Yeah.
As it's good visual me staring down at the phone. Little Mike Francesa is.
I thought I saw him on the train the other day, actually. Ended up not being him. But people on Twitter had fun thinking it was.
There was a family friend who passed away, that distant family friend, and Mike Francesa was at the wake. I didn't go, but Mike Francesa was at the wake.
Really?
That would have been imagine running in, hey, Mike, how's it going?
I don't know who's that excited to see Mike Francesa. Maybe you are.
This guy.
Maybe he's your hero.
All right, February 24th to March 2nd. NFL Scouting Combine.
Oh, that's right there. That's happening in a week.
Yes. Then we
All right, that'll be big. That'll give us a lot to talk about.
February 25th, first day to designate franchise or transitional players.
That'll be heartbreaking. It's always heartbreaking. That's a terrible day when your hopes and dreams and all the whole list of players you might want, and then it immediately in a few hours just gets slashed right in half.
Then we
Remember how pumped we were when we thought Russell Wilson was a possibility towards the end of last year?
My God.
Was that last year?
I would have gave anything to sign it.
Oh, God.
March 10th, deadline to designate franchise or transitional players.
So that's all happening. We will know about everybody's favorite pipe dream, Yannick, whatever his last name is.
Everyone's favorite Twitter and Instagram follow.
Yeah.
March 16th to the 18th, clubs are permitted to contact and negotiate with unrestricted free agents. March 18th, officially free agency begins.
Okay. All right.
And then
it's a lot happening.
Just a bunch of that. And then April we're talking the draft. April 23rd in Las Vegas.
Yeah, those guys aren't going to get any trouble.
That's the schedule. That's
we will. What'll be interesting is the new trend of guys not going to the combine. That'll be interesting to see if Joe Burrow goes to the combine, if Chase Young goes to the combine, if how much they do. I think I remember, right? Kyler Murray.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't do the combine, or he didn't run the 40. And I'm like, that's interesting because his whole thing is speed, even though he's a very good thrower. And the fact that he didn't run the 40, I'm like, what's he trying to say? But from his perspective, it's like, well, if they already think I'm fast, what if if they're expecting me to be a 4.5 guy and I run a 4.7, am I going to hurt my stock? So that'll be interesting. You're just seeing less and less guys every year actually going to the combine. Chase Young's going to go in the top 3, whether or not he goes to the combine. Why go and run slower than people thought, or bench less than people thought, or hurt yourself, right? So,
you know who I wanted to bring up? Demarcus Robinson. I put him in the thumbnail. I totally forgot to bring him up.
Hit me.
Him being linked to the Giants from, I think, who was it? Matt Lombardo said the Giants are going to pursue him as their wide receiver option and address other needs in the draft, but that's who they were looking towards.
I don't know enough about him, man. You got to school me on him a little bit.
Yeah, on Kansas City, probably they're behind Tyreek Hill and Watkins.
Yeah, but it's tough. Again, my theory there. I said it earlier, but when you got Patrick Mahomes throwing to you, he makes receivers better. I don't know how good this guy actually is.
So last year, nothing too crazy. 32 receptions, 449, 4 TDs.
So those are always the sad ones, man. Those are always the sad ones when
Third wide receiver option.
when people try to convince you to be excited about guys like that. It's like, well, we didn't get this guy, but we got
This guy.
Golden Tate. It's like, now granted, Tate was actually pretty good when he was on the field, even though I don't want to get into my feelings on Golden Tate, but that's always sad. No, he was good. I mean, he was hurt, but like
right.
2 years ago, he showed some promise. It's like Olivier Vernon. Well, he only had 2 sacks, but he led the league in QB pressures. And then, same thing we hear about Leonard Williams, right? It's like you could twist the stat to make any player look like you should be excited about them. Well, on third down and long, he had the second best completion percentage on balls that were thrown within a yard of the receiver with separation. Like, I can't, man. I can't. Like, I'm not getting excited over number 3 guy. Giants, they need a pass rusher. Been saying it for years. They need a legitimate offensive lineman. They probably need 2 legitimate offensive linemen. They need a legitimate number 1 wide receiver. They need a legitimate linebacker. We'll see what happens with the linebacking core, though. They got some interesting pieces in there. It could be okay. And the secondary is so damn young. They could be awful, or if they all pan out, they could have a good secondary next year. And we're like, wow, I didn't see this coming. Baker came into his own. This guy did this. Beal did that. Ballantyne did this. Love did that. Hey, we're pretty good. So
we wanted to go what? What did we say today? 20 minutes tops? We
said 20 to 30.
20 to 30.
It's been 53-47.
So
yeah,
slightly over.
And I feel like we didn't really say anything.
No, nothing.
So if people are still listening, then when we do have stuff to say in the coming weeks, like this is probably our most dead show.
Yeah. Because
there's no combine. Like we kind of got all the free agent. We got a lot of our talk out of our systems already, and then like nothing happened. And now we're just kind of like Wile E. Coyote when he runs off the cliff, and then he just realizes he's not standing on anything, and he just puts the help sign up.
I wanted to ask you about what's going on with stand-up. Are you on a break? Or are you headed back out?
Well, potentially both. Yeah, I'm on a little bit of a break. Yeah, so I used to do stand-up a bunch, writing. I've written for late night TV. I wrote jokes for Letterman and for Conan and some other people, and I still do some stuff. I get some jokes in magazines and whatnot. But this job I have with doing media and some other stuff for CX has pretty much been full time. And then in my spare time, I've been writing and I got an agent, and there's always possibilities for shows and things like that. I'm still kind of in the comedy game and the creative game, but no, I have not been on stage. I just do stand up now. I try my jokes out of my girlfriend and just torture her with those all the time. So how about you, man? When are we gonna get you on stage?
It's on my bucket list.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's scary, man, but I'll be there for you.
There we go.
If you want to do it, I'll coach you up. I'll your first time up, I'll make it from being like the most awful experience to like a kind of awful experience.
I will make you attend, and you will have to buy 2 drinks because it's probably a 2 drink minimum to get up on.
2 drink minimum. I think you're gonna need a 2 drink minimum to get you on stage.
No, I think I'll be all right.
Be all right. That's one thing I never did. I never drank. A lot of people drink or smoke or whatever before they go on stage. I never did that. I always felt like that was cheating. I always wanted to experience it for real. I didn't want to like numb myself, like, oh, so now I can go up. I always felt like that was, I don't know, something that just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I was just like, nah, I want to experience this thing for real. I don't want to just have to dull it all in order to go up. I feel like I was cheating it in some way.
Yeah,
but maybe that's just, I don't know.
I could talk stand up all day. It's just,
yeah.
I don't think I could string together like 10 minutes or anything like that.
10 minutes is a long time, man.
I know.
You'd be surprised how long it takes to get a good 5.
Years.
But no, I appreciate you asking me that, man.
Yeah. All right. I think we've touched.
I have a whole hour on Gettleman, so that's a real fun special. I got that special coming out. It's called Giant Embarrassment. Yeah.
So
I should do that. I one time I know Rashad Jennings a little bit, and he was doing a pre-Super Bowl charity stand-up event or something like that. It was before the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, and I wrote a whole stand-up bit for Rashad. And that was fun doing Super Bowl jokes. I think it was before the Patriots-Eagles Super Bowl. I remember I did one I was pretty proud of where, Gronk had to take a concussion test before he was allowed to play in the Super Bowl that year. And I said, he got none of the answers correct, so everything's fine. And I ripped on Philly pretty bad, saying that the good thing is if they celebrate and wreck the city, you won't be able to tell. So
there was who was it? I think it was Otis Anderson. They did a roast of Otis Anderson. They had a bunch of former Giants players, Artie Lang, and a bunch of guys like roasting.
Oh, yeah?
I try to barge my way in there, be like, "Oh, I'll help promote it." I have a pretty big following on like Facebook.
Yeah, you're big time. You're big time.
But no, I couldn't squeeze my way into that one.
Where was it?
It was it Gotham?
Well, with Otis Anderson and Artie Lang, I don't think anyone could squeeze into that one.
Some big boys, yeah.
Some big boy. One of the funniest things. I mean, it's a little inappropriate, but it was the Emmitt Smith. It was the Emmitt Smith roast, and it was done by Jeff Ross, or everybody, but Jeff Ross did a bit, and some of the stuff he said. I mean, it's just so funny, but like you can't believe this guy's saying this stuff, and I can't believe he got away with this stuff. But he had Jamie Foxx there, kind of like telling everybody it's okay, like what he was saying, like a lot of like really push the envelope type things. Shaq was loving it, But anyway, that was roasting is a whole thing, man. I kind of like the old school roast a little bit, like if these guys used to do, where it wasn't super graphic and super awful. It was just kind of,
Now it is like
witty. Now it's just you can't even. It's shocking. But,
you get destroyed.
Destroyed. We'll do it sometime, man.
Yeah, I'll start sending.
We'll do a Giants roast before the season starts.
That might be. We could probably make that happen.
We'll see.
You see the wheels turning. The wheels turning.
I'm so tired, man. There's no wheel. These things are good. The little hamster is about to take a nap, man. The hamster's not on the wheel anymore.
Coming to a halt. All right. So
thanks, guys, for tuning in. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Will Presty. You can follow him at Will Presty. He's available for us. He's here.
Here for you. I just wait here. I wait here by the phone all day. Marco calls me. And then I take an hour trying to set up my computer.
Right.
But this worked. This is cool.
Yeah,
although normally when we're doing the pod, I like lay down.
Right.
I'm like naked. I mean, I have no pants on now with the side. I'm just saying.
I could blur.
Yeah. All right, man.
So if they haven't done, I don't know where in camera-wise, situational-wise, where the subscribe button would be. Probably somewhere around there. Right is left is right over here. It's got me freaked out. But Will, I will talk to you later on in the week. Thank you for everyone for listening. Thank you for the multiple comments. I'll figure out a way to have you see them. Yeah, that sounds good. We'll take some callers next time maybe, and we'll get into this thing. It's going to start rock and rolling in the next few weeks because it's one, like you said, with the schedule there, one thing after another, and it'll be fun. Like I said, unfortunately, I actually care about the offseason now. I never used to, and now I do, and that's a sign of a bad team. But I know we could have people cam in. We go to a triple split screen.
That could be risky.
Yeah, that could be risky.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Could be risky.
I would have to see them first and then give them.
All right, buddy.
All right. Talk to everyone later. Thank you, Will. And
all right.